Hi, welcome to G2G Kodia, #NoFilter Talk Talk.
There are talks to be talked.
Yes, my name is Noela.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm a senior in high school right now, and I'm going through this college application season.
Oof.
It's super stressful, and I have a lot of questions for these guys who are freshmen in college, and I'm going to hope that they can guide me through them. Yeah?
Oh, do you remember being rejected by your first school? Like, I think I got rejected from exactly half of my schools.
Wow.
So for every acceptance, I got a rejection. And you know, yeah. How was that?
I got rejected from the Ivy. So
Ooh,
yeah, I applied to
IVs.
6 Ivies, I believe, and I got rejected from 4. I don't know about the other 2 because I don't know. I'm not allowed to see the results for that. But I got accepted into Amherst College, which is a private liberal arts college, and that's where a lot of the Ivy rejects go. Is what a lot of people say. Yeah.
That's okay. You're in somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot for my friends and I who are seniors in high school, our biggest fear at this point in time, like sure, junior year, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to all these schools. Like we're so pumped and we're gonna get through all of our courses, like straight A's, but senior year, I mean, they say that senioritis is a thing, but I never ever took it seriously.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
I didn't, but then it really hit me. It really did. Like I see all my friends who they're gone. They gave up, and I'm just like, oh, I want to follow them, but I can't. And ever since I applied early to somewhere and I got rejected, and my first rejection, I was mentally prepared for it. You know, I told myself, this is gonna go 3 ways. I get accepted, hallelujah, or I get rejected, which is fine because that means God has another path for me. I'm like, whatever, and then or I get deferred, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. There's still hope. So when I saw the "we are sorry," the first sentence, I was like, it's okay. I was like, this is fine, and I was like, this is cool. I'm cool, and I had to take the SAT the next day.
Oh no!
So I was like, this was either gonna be like I didn't have to take the SAT or I did. So I was like, shoot, I have to study for the SAT now.
Yeah. The day before?
The day before.
You studied for the SAT the day before the SAT?
I mean, I kind of studied, but I was kind of like...
Oh, okay.
I was trying to tell myself, like, hopefully I would get in, but I didn't. And I was like, this is okay. And, I could, like, feel my emotions, like, you're fine, Noela, but I wasn't. And for me, how I dealt with that, I went to my room, locked myself up, and I cried a lot. And I think I wasn't prepared. I was prepared to be rejected, but I wasn't prepared how to react. If that makes sense. Like, I went out for a walk for about like half an hour, just like calling as many people that knew about what the situation was, which was only like 2 or 3. And like all my friends were just like, just eat chocolate and ice cream, dude. Like that's the only way you get through it. And so that's what I did. Yeah, I mean, I feel like rejections are different for everyone, and especially for me because that school was like a top choice. Right. That was probably the hardest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How did you handle your rejections?
I think certain schools I was like, okay, fine. Like, okay, you can reject me. Like, all right. But certain schools I was a little offended. Like, really? Like, how? Like, the schools that you think you're gonna get into, and you get rejected, you're like the system's messed up, like, And I didn't cry or, but I was sad. I was like, wow, like what if I tried harder, or like what, and you think about, the things that you could have done or changed, and you kind of regret a little bit, but now that I'm past it, I'm like, it's okay, like it'll be all right. Actually, we took a video on this before on college. Oh. And we were like, it's gonna be okay. It might not all work out in the end, like I can't say that. But there are so many more opportunities that you can take in this world. That's what I can say. That's true. Yeah. Wow.
How did you deal with your Ivy
rejections? Ivy rejections? I can't even.
The thing is, I didn't expect to get into the Ivies. It was just like hopes, like reach schools for me. And I just put them there because I was like, God, please, if it's your will. Yeah. And apparently it wasn't God's will. It was God's will to send me to Amherst. So I think I didn't really feel sad or disappointed, I believe, because I feel like I didn't put in enough effort to get to IVs, but I guess my way of like coping with it was finding out what Amherst is, because when I applied to Amherst, I didn't have to write the why do you want to go to Amherst essay. Like there were no supplementary essays I had to write, so I didn't know anything about Amherst, and I was just like, what is this school? Did I even apply? I didn't even know I applied. So a lot of my like my thoughts were focused on figuring out what Amherst was. So yeah.
Focusing on what's good. I only laughed earlier because she got rejected from Ivies, and like she ended at Amherst, like our Ivy rejects, but like I go to UC Irvine, which is like UCLA rejects, and like UC Berkeley rejects, which is it's where it's at, guys. UC Irvine.
Yeah, when I got into Amherst, my parents, Korean parents, and even like our relatives as well, people in Korea know the IVs very well, but they don't know Amherst College. Like Amherst College is, I'll just put it out there, is a top liberal arts college, and it's a very good college, but not a lot of people in Korea or my relatives know Amherst, and my parents were disappointed. I would say they were disappointed, and my relatives don't know the college, so like my parents sort of have a hard time explaining it's a really good college. Like your granddaughter like is at a very good college. But my dad, he, after like learning more about Amherst College, he did a lot more research than I did, and he was like sending me links through KakaoTalk, and I was like, okay, thank you. But he's been telling me even before like I went to Amherst, like God has a plan for you there. There's a reason why he sent you there. And when I went to Amherst, I felt it. I was there's a reason why God sent me here. Like I could feel it, and I knew like this is where God wants me to be. And that's why I feel like I'm struggling a bit in like the spiritual aspect, because God's trying to push me to be more open about my faith and to reach out to other people. And I'm not used to that here in Los Angeles, because we have a pretty huge Korean Christian community, or just Christian community in general. So I don't have to, every person I meet is like Christian, so I could just talk to them. Right. But at Amherst, it's not the case at all.
Well, we have a lot of questions from like general questions that Christians, Korean Americans, Christians, or any students in general have. We can do like a little Q&A.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Journal maybe for number 1.
In the middle of her drinking water.
All right. So, how much more time do you have for yourself, like in college?
How much more time I have for myself? Shoot. If you want, you can make 24 hours a day for yourself. Like, I really realize like a bunch of people like just don't go to class, and like I'll go to a lecture, it's supposed to be like about 300 students, and it's like empty. Like, okay, there are people, there's like maybe 100 students, and like where are the rest of the people? Where are they?
The other 200.
Yeah, you don't have to be there. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. It's a strange concept. Like, it's strange.
Wow. For Amherst, I think it's slightly different. If there's a big lecture hall room, I think 100 is like the max. Minimum could be like 3 students.
Oh, no way.
And like average is, I would say 10.
Oh my god.
So a lot of my classes were actually pretty small. The biggest class was 25, but that was music. And music is basically an elective. Attendance is pretty good, I would say, at Amherst, because if you don't go, the professor knows. But also because at Amherst, like meeting with your professors is like pretty important, and that's like the reason why Amherst like takes pride in its small population. But time for yourself. I think just like it's so different from high school, because in high school you have like from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's like you're in school. You can't do anything else. But in college, you choose your classes, and you can, if you get what you want, you can choose like your schedule, right? So you have a lot of time in between to do whatever you want. I don't know why this is the first thing I come up with, but I usually do my laundry. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, or you like eat or talk with friends.
Yeah, I'd probably
do your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
You have
I think the one time I skipped class, I'm not gonna lie, it was my 2 o'clock big lecture. I went down to eat lunch at like 1 with a couple of friends, and I was sitting there and it was like 1:50, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay and eat. I'm still gonna eat. And I just didn't go to class that day. But don't do that because then you fall behind, especially if you're quarter system. Don't do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's tempting though.
it really is. Like
Alright.
to match your sleep schedule to like your class schedule. That's important. Don't take 8 a.m.s if you can't wake up.
Oh.
Don't.
No.
Yeah. Even if you live on campus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Even my 9 a.m. I'm like, it's sometimes hard.
10 o'clock is good.
10. Go with the 10 o'clock. That's a win. Yeah.
All right. Question number 2.
Yes.
Number 2.
All right. What is your idea of quote unquote fun in college?
Fun in college.
Not parties.
Not parties.
Not for me, at least. Yeah. My idea of fun is basically the same as high school.
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends, not going to parties, but like just chatting with friends. I think it's kind of maybe a girl thing, but like chatting with friends, talking, or I would play a lot of card games like Pasoy Durak. Those are really fun. Or board games, Monopoly Deal, like things like that was my idea of fun. Or Six Flags, just going somewhere and doing things in our right mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's important.
When we're sober.
Yeah. I think I eat a lot with like my friends. Like, well, let's go get boba.
Yes.
It's like the number one thing in Irvine. Let's go get boba.
Wow.
Like that's something.
Catchphrase?
It's a thing. It's a let's go get boba.
Let's go
Everybody
get
says
boba
it.
after this.
I have my own. It's kind of embarrassing.
you have
But I
boba
bought
straw?
my, Save the Turtle straw.
Oh, I have one too.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to purchase
I don't
one.
use it.
Oh, yeah. Is there boba in Amherst?
There is. It's not very good.
It is,
Oh.
is there a lot of Asians?
There
in
are.
Amherst? Really?
Food
But
and
I would
stuff.
assume there'd be like more cultural, like Asian.
Yeah, nowadays.
There's a lot of Asians. There are Asian things, but they're not quality as like Koreatown is.
Yeah, well, you can't.
can't beat.
Sometimes Korea can't beat Koreatown.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
wow.
what I heard.
Okay.
Like Korean people will come to Koreatown to eat certain Korean food. But I
Wow.
love Korea.
Oh, the irony.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
All right. Question number 3. Oh, so what is your friend group like now?
Friend group.
Your friend group
Ooh.
or circle?
I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't really have like one group of friends.
All right.
I think it's sort of early, and also a lot of the friend groups are made through parties. So, yeah.
You don't go to parties.
Yeah.
Well, because I know in high school, most groups or most people like have their, it's like, oh, that group or
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that cliche, like, And so I'm like stuck with that dork group or like that group of, because I'm in the magnet program, so we're actually pretty secluded from the rest of the school. Not that we're like, oh, we can't talk to them, but like class-wise, we're always
Yeah.
separated. So like I'm part of like, oh, she's in that group. And I know in like college, I guess because it's so big and there's so many more students, you don't get that as much. But so like there's no like designated group that you go to or hang out with anymore.
Or maybe like the Korean Christian group.
Oh yeah, I feel like if I were to be like a part of a friend group, it would be the Christian community.
Yeah.
Like, and if people see us like eating together in the dining hall, it would be, oh, that's the Christian group, kind of. Yeah.
All right.
But also, like, I feel like in high school taking classes together, there's sort of a schedule.
Yeah.
And you're with the same people a lot of the time. But in college, because all of your schedules are very different and the times you have like classes are different, so sometimes you can't eat with them.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to find a group where you can always be together at like same time.
Yeah. I think even in high school, I hung out with like a very small group of girls. And in college, it's like even smaller, or like I just finished class and I'm going to eat. Like I'll call somebody like, are you in class?
Yeah.
Are you in class? Do you want to go eat? Like somebody else, okay, they're in class. Do you want to go eat?
Yeah.
And like maybe I'll get one person.
Yeah.
Or
You
I'll
have
go
to
to the
do-
dining hall. It's like, are you eating alone?
Yeah.
I'll eat with you.
Have you eaten alone before?
I eat alone all the time.
I mean, I do that a lot. Yeah, it's
Breakfast, always alone.
Oh,
Lunch,
yes.
probably alone.
no, but like dinner is like the hardest when you have to eat alone because everyone's eating, and like if you have a friend group, you eat with them. But I'm just like I don't.
Oh wow.
I have yet to eat dinner. Actually, dinner alone, but that's because I like, hey, like, are you eating alone? I'll eat with you.
Okay.
I've actually done that.
Very
Wow.
food oriented schedule.
Yeah, eating is like,
I think in college it kind of becomes like that. Like when you eat is when you like socialize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth question.
number 4.
All right. How has your faith grown or regressed since entering college?
That's a good one.
I've been having to take much more responsibility over what I do in terms of my faith, and I think I've been better about it, like pretty good about it. Like back at home, I would have my parents being like, "Oh, read the Bible, pray, like let's go to church." So it would sort of be it would be me doing things because my parents are telling me to do it. Not that I didn't enjoy it, it's just like I had someone who could be like, who could guide me through my faith. But in college, because my parents aren't there anymore and I don't have to do any of the things that I used to do technically, like I think I have actually been pretty good about reading the Bible and praying sort of daily. Yeah, I want to talk about like the Christian community. So because the community is so tight, I've gotten to know a lot of the people there, and we meet 4 times a week, I think, like so every other day of the week. And I think that what I've been struggling with is being too focused on the people rather than on God, on my relationship with God. So in the beginning of my time at Amherst, I spent a lot of time going to each of these meetings, and it helped me like get oriented in college, but I felt like I was focusing too much on the people and I had to step away, and I stopped going to the meetings. I only go to like church on Sunday and Friday meetings, but
That's
using
still very
that
good.
time I began to use that time instead focusing on myself, and like in my dorm when my roommate's not there, I would have time to like pray and read the Bible and spend time like one-on-one time with God. So I think I've actually had it's been better, I think, for me.
I think my quarter is 10 weeks with 1 week, 11 weeks being the final, and like 0 week being 1. Like every single week or every 2 weeks, it was a really different dynamic. But the first couple of weeks, I went to the church that I'm going to now, and it was like amazing. I was like, I'm learning something new every single week. Like this is crazy.
Wow.
Like I've never felt this way before. And I have my roommate. She's also Christian. One of my roommates. She's also Christian. We're like, you know what? We're doing QT together every day. Like we're gonna do it. And little by little, like that kind of fizzled out. But I did learn about my relationship with God and my identity as His daughter, especially academically. Like I think all throughout my life, academics hasn't been like, you have to focus on studying. Like nobody ever told me that. Hey, don't laugh. And nobody really told me that or pushed me super hard to like, you should study right now. You should be studying. You should do your homework. To a point where I think as a student, which is a role that God gave me, I wasn't glorifying God in that way. So this is something that I learned over this quarter was, you know, as a child of God, in this role that God has given me as a student, I have to glorify Him as well.
One final question.
Question 5.
All right. Hope it's a good one. It's a long one.
Oh.
Were you ever afraid of what people would think of you depending on which college you got into?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, this is a very personal question, probably for me as a senior who is applying to all these schools. January 1st, that deadline is coming up. And like, you know, the holiday season and everyone was just like trying to like chill and whatnot, but for me I was just really like into focusing on my apps and whatnot. Yeah, the grind never stops. Not until January 1st. But I don't know, I feel like up to this point, like all 17 years of my life has been waiting for this moment. Like I feel like I've been raised, not raised, but like I feel like at least for me, I know it's not completely true, but my friends tell me and they think that their parents have raised them just for college, which is not necessarily true, but it does add up. You know, it's like kind of your way for parents or families to be like, my kid going into this school. Oh, your kid went where? Where's that? You know,
Oh
like,
my goodness.
it's like, it's a thing parents do, and I did not realize that till recently. And I think I'm not too like worried about what my friends or people at my school would think, but I do. Because, you know, as someone who has been always the person where people ask homework for, like, hey, what did you get on this test? You know, like, that one kid. I mean, maybe it deals with that Asian stereotype, and how I want to, like, show these people, like, yeah, you know, I am well-deserved to go to this school. And so I get a little nervous, but I'm trying to, like, get over that fear because in the end, it really doesn't matter because you'll get the same education, technically. Technically, you should get the same education. It's just nowadays it's really just a name because like the college application process is so weird and different.
Right.
So for me, I think that's gonna be the hardest part for me to try and get over that. Just because I know the fact. That's the fact.
Yeah.
It's all just colleges. It's just a name. That really is what matters. But I need to accept that fact. If that makes any sense. Like I still need to get over the idea and facade that Noela went to this school and like no one has heard of this school. Like what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you experienced the same thing or?
Obviously, like I didn't apply to, you know, those guys, but yes, I think no matter who you are, if you're all applying, we're all applying to colleges at the same time, or you know, your grade, and you can't help but compare and contrast. And like, I remember clearly, distinctly, like the first time somebody got into an Ivy League in our school, like, did you hear? Like, I don't even know this person that well. Did you hear that this person got into this school? Like, this person got into, you know, Stanford, Harvard, whatever. It's like, oh, no way. And like, there's always going to be talk about that. And like, I was never a student that like studied really hard. So I try to go along with that. Like, I don't really care, like, whatever. But obviously, it's like, on top of you being rejected from the schools that you're trying to go to, like, really, like, when there are people like, where are you going?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm going here. Like, oh, that's good. Good for you, you know? Like, it's never going to feel like good. But once I went to college, especially since I'm at the campus, like, I only think about UCI. I think UCI is the best school ever, you know?
Wow.
Like, maybe if I'm leaving and I'm talking to other people, it's like still kind of like weird, but it's like my school.
Right.
Yeah. So
take pride
in my
wherever
school,
you
yeah.
go.
Yes.
Go Anteaters. Zat.
Go Mammoths.
I think every school, we're all going into higher education.
Yeah. Right.
Nope. Like, we're all pretty smart. Like, we all made it to higher education.
Yeah.
That's pretty, like,
That in itself is an accomplishment.
yeah. We all did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yes, we did it.
We did it.
That was an interesting talk. Well, thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed our little talk. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Like, subscribe, comment.